So if you don't know me, my name is Kayla Holtzclaw, and I'm your Diamond Leader with It Works. I wanted to hop on here and kind of talk to you about my story and get better acquainted because I have so many new people on the team that I just think it's necessary. Plus, some of you guys have given me some questions. This is a good time to, after I give you a tidbit about me and my story, you guys can ask me specific questions and we can go over trainings. So my name is Kayla, as I said. I am 28 years old. I grew up in a really small town, New York, upstate New York. And growing up, my dad wasn't really in the picture. My parents were separated when I was really, really little. And I had always known that my mom kind of struggled on her side, and my dad was a little bit more fortunate because Christmas was different, my birthdays were different, we went on more vacations, and my mom was always gone to work. My mom had a substitute position at like 3 or 4 jobs, and then she also had a side gig like doing hair. She used to cut hair. And she was also trying to be a full-time student. So she was a single mom, and I always kind of like admired that from her. But it just sucked. Like growing up, I pretty much lived with my grandparents. And I don't really talk about it a lot because in my teen years, my parents actually got back together and got remarried. So when I was a kid growing up, like I didn't have my dad in the picture. And then when I was 13, they kind of like sat me down and said, Dad's moving back in. And it like flipped my whole world upside down. That's kind of when me and my mom started butting heads, and I was constantly like kicked out of my house. That's how my childhood went. Like my mom kind of took my dad's side. He had problems with alcohol, and I lived at my best friend's house, and then I lived with my high school sweetheart. Further on down the road, I went to college. I had first applied for nursing, but if you actually knew me back in high school, I was kind of the weird art kid. Didn't really have a whole lot of friends. I was really quiet, just kind of kept to myself. But people didn't really have a good impression of me because some of my friends weren't so quiet, I guess. I just kind of wanted to like not blend in. Like I didn't want to stand out. So in college, I decided to go for nursing because in this community, it's super, super popular to go into the nursing field, and then you get a really secure job because in this area, there's only so many opportunities. And in high school, you know, art is only going to take me so far. I'm not going to make a lot of money doing that. And my parents just they were not okay with me choosing that as my lifelong goal. So I went against my own heart, you know what I mean? And I knew I kind of was making a decision that wasn't really mine, but I did it anyway. And I went into school and I worked really, really hard. I had several jobs, and I always found it just super difficult to stay afloat. So many things would hit me like all at once, and the way that my mom had viewed money when I was a kid definitely started to kind of replay in me as a young adult. Like I just felt like there was never gonna be enough. You know what I mean? Like it was just gonna run out all the time. And that's how my mom treated it as a single mom. So, I mean, I know how hard she had worked, but it's just that mindset. It's so toxic. It's so hard to get out of it. Anyways, so I'm in college and things are really, really hard. And I'm not happy doing my nursing, and I know it. I ended up, I don't know, you can't say failing because I didn't get an F, but I got an average grade of a C. So I immediately opted out of the program, and I felt like that was my chance to kind of really do something for myself and think about what I wanted for me. And it was really scary. I didn't ask for my parents' opinion. I didn't ask for my boyfriend's opinion. I just did it. I took all the courses I wanted for a year, and I I switched my major to art. And then I actually transferred to a bigger school, which was kind of scary for me, but I wanted to get out of my comfort zone and meet more people that were out of this area, because I've always wanted to travel and I've never gone anywhere. Uh, the first time I had ever traveled by airplane, I was 26 years old. So you could say that I'm kind of sheltered. Anyways, college, hard, whatever. We skip a few years, and I'm still in art, but like it's taking me forever to graduate. And at this time, my financial aid has run out. I've actually longed to go to school in different states, but because my parents were now together, my dad made too much money, so I didn't get any financial aid, so I couldn't cover the cost to go to school where I wanted to go. It's like an ongoing thing of like, I felt like life was just kind of hitting me all the time where I wanted to do something else. When really nowadays, I'm 28 years old and this business has completely opened up my head to something new. And this is kind of where I'm going with it. So I ended up actually graduating with my art degree, but it took 5 years, and I ended up taking out a private loan with a crazy interest rate. And I was told that I was going to get this like amazing corporate America job as soon as I graduated. Guess what? I did not. I got like a $2 raise from my last retail job with some benefits. And I felt so heartbroken that I had spent so much time in school studying psychology and education and art therapy and nursing, that I was like, I know I'm worth more than this. You know, like I was making $11 an hour. What a slap in the face. I went from making $8.50 to 11, and I remember telling somebody when I was pregnant, like what I made financially, and she like patted me on the shoulder and told me how sorry she felt for me. Everything I had been told since I was a kid, this is the right way to do it and make money, it wasn't working out. And then some predicaments happened. So my life just kind of kept spiraling at this point. I'm not making anything. And I start dating a guy that starts treating me badly. And I let it kind of go on for too long. Okay. And I ended up, it was so bad. I was so broke. I didn't tell anybody. I wore my pretty clothes. I like faked it so well. I put on such a smile for so many people. But people didn't know how hard I was struggling. I had to go to the local food shelves just to feed myself. I had lost so much weight that my doctor kind of finally noticed and was like, here's a basket of food, Kayla, please take it home with you. And because I was constantly at the doctor's, like I was physically abused. And it went on for about 2 years. But I had let it get so bad that my car was gone. I had taken out $8,000 in a loan, and I just had screwed up. I felt like I had screwed up my whole life. Like it was just the end. I ended up crying to my parents and asking and begging for me to like move in with them. And I already knew that that was a really like a big risk. Fighting with my dad is something that is like normal for us. So I have to stay away. Like it's too much toxic energy, and moving in was the only option I had. I had no money. So I moved in and I got a job that paid me like $12 an hour, but I had to do late night shifts. And they were 16, like sometimes 16 to 22 hours of constant work because it was in the health field. And during this time, I'm trying to heal through post-traumatic stress disorder, and live with my parents again at 24. It was so rough, to say the least. But I just kept telling myself, okay, so whatever you believe in, I just kept telling myself that like somebody or something has a plan for me. I was meant for so much more, and coming through this, like to share my story with somebody else, that's what I was meant to do. Like I have always felt that way since I was little. Every time I've struggled, I have to get through it. I have to get through it, and I have to be a better and bigger person because of it. And that's why I'm going to like be super proud of myself. Okay, it's called reaching a higher level of self. So all this crazy stuff is happening, and Tom, a guy I had met like years back, messaged me, and we started dating during this like chaotic mess. And he lived in Hawaii. It was the first time I had traveled by airplane, and so that was kind of how I met him and saw him. And like my mom was so scared I was gonna get kidnapped, but I was like ready to make a really big change in my life. And he was such a good person. He was like, I had known him from when we were kids, because he like we met at the movie theater. It was my first job when I was 17, and I didn't want to date him way back when. I was the girl that always said no, and finally here I am. Like maybe fate has brought us together during this crazy time, and sure enough, I am now married to him, and we have a baby. But of course, we went through some really, really tough struggles. I'm going to tell you, I've never been happier with someone, but that's because I knew what I wanted after that really bad relationship. Like, I looked at it as something I could learn from, okay? Instead of it being like a curse to my life, I wanted it to be a blessing. So, okay, I have to look at it as a situation that sucks right now, but maybe it's bringing me to something better. And every time it did. Okay, so Tom actually was in the Navy. He moved back here. We struggled financially because he's technically a veteran. Automatically, like stamped on your forehead. If you've ever been to Afghanistan, they think you're a loony. He couldn't get a job. It was so heartbreaking because he's so smart. This man has traveled all across the world. He's not like the rest of us. Like, in my opinion, he's so optimistic, and he's just been through so many different cultural backgrounds. Like, it's just, he gets it. He gets everybody. But we struggled, and we started over. And within a year, I knew I was going to marry him. So I decided I wanted to try to have children. And I lost my first baby. I lost my first baby after trying to have a child for 10 months. 10 months it took to, like, I was so angry. I was so mad because it took like 2 people, you know, just to get pregnant, and then that's it. But me, I thought something was wrong with me. I had health problems after that terrible relationship, so I blamed myself. I said, maybe I just can't bear children. And I kind of like left it in God's hands. Like, I will be a mom one day, but maybe it's just not how I planned it. I got pregnant a month later with my rainbow baby. And that's kind of where work starts to come into play, because I knew that these home-based businesses were something you could do to make money, and I knew that they had the potential to make more money than any 9-to-5 job I had ever received. And I know my work ethic. Like, I know I will put everything I can into something I'm passionate and love and like just ready to go all in for. Done it countless times. So I kind of just like explored the realm of network marketing. I ended up signing up with the first company that asked me, which was a makeup company, and I hated it. I hated going face to face with people. I hated the fact that I wasn't even told about their inventory package until after I had joined, and then I was like, another $1,200 in debt. It was stupid. I was so mad at myself. So I thought like this whole network marketing thing wasn't for me. But I knew I wanted to kind of do something different. I wanted to work from home. If it meant like being a blogger or trying a different company. I don't know. I did my research, but bloggers, like, money is just not there. This, like being an entrepreneur, like I could also do something maybe bigger and better for the world. I started just researching popular names, and it was just, I felt good about it, but I was scared. I was also kind of salty. The girl who actually had messaged me about the opportunity, I politely declined, and then I kind of made fun of the raps because I had never heard anything other than people calling it. So I joined the crowd. That was me. I'm sorry. That was me before this business, and that's because I didn't do my research. I didn't talk to the right people. I talked to somebody who joined for 2 days, didn't really do anything, and then quit. Didn't try. You know, they just told me like I sucked at it, or you can't get any customers, and immediately like you're like, oh, well, they said that, that means I can't do it either, which is silly. Like, why do we do that to ourselves? I was kind of like fed up. My breaking point was crying in the middle of my kitchen floor, arguing with my husband because I couldn't afford diapers. So my rainbow baby, okay, I started having this idea of being an entrepreneur, but I'm super scared. I had a 9 to 5, a normal 9 to 5. It was like the easiest job in the whole world, and it didn't really pay a lot. It didn't offer overtime, but it gave me health benefits. So I stuck with it. Then my baby was born, and it changed everything. They put him on my chest, and the love everything made sense. All of this shit I had been through in my whole life. Seriously, like everything just flashed before my eyes. Like my son's future just was like, it's not about me anymore. And I said, okay, I gotta be a stay-at-home mom. I don't really know why, but I know I can't miss out on his first year of life because I would regret it if I did. And I'm tired of living my life on terms for other people. So I quit my job. I quit my job and I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't even have It Works. We had a savings account, and like my husband doesn't make a ton of money, but he could have like kept us afloat if we had that savings account. Well, we had car repairs, and guess what? It just drained and drained. And then we couldn't get ahead because we were just living paycheck to paycheck. And I was just sick of it. I was so sick of it. I was so mad. Going to Target, paying for diapers on credit card, like putting myself into debt again. And it was just stupid. I was like, you know what? Fine. I started typing up my resume. I said, I'm going to do something. I'm either going to work stay awake shifts, or I'm going to bartend and make tips, or I don't know. I got to do something. And then all of a sudden, this girl's post was coming up in my feed again. I had been watching her for 3 months. She had followed up with me 3 or 4 times with no response. Like, I didn't talk to her. She actually invited me to one of her online parties, which I stopped. Okay, I stopped, loved it, and then 2 days later started asking her questions, and I think it was like, that was when I joined. So if anybody is on here and you're upset because people aren't responding to your first message, it's fine, okay? The whole point of us doing that isn't to get enrollments, it's to plant seeds. You're the friendly neighbor moved in, okay? And you're just saying hi. If you want, you can bring a pie. Like, say hi. Say hi. And hey, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna like peek through the blinds to see you. They're gonna start like watching your page. Guarantee it. And if they start seeing you happy and bubbly, they're gonna want to know if you're for real. Anyways, so back to my story. I ended up joining like that, and I ran as fast as I could. Okay, so I just was sloppy about it. I did whatever my upline told me to do. I started messaging everybody I could think of, and I made mistakes. I actually messaged people who weren't on my friends list. So guys, don't do that. It's really kind of embarrassing when they're like, how do I know you? And then you go to their page and you're not even. Yeah. I actually added her, and she's still on my potentials list. She talks to me every now and then, but it's awkward. Anyway, that's where actually the term cold messaging came from. You're literally not talking to anybody on your friends list. You're just randomly messaging people. So how I worked my business in the beginning, I posted a lot. I posted 9 times a day. We don't do that anymore, guys, or that would kill your Facebook algorithm. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to post about like 3 times a day at max. And I use both platforms, Facebook and Instagram. I am a pro at my Insta stories, so if you guys need inspiration or you don't really know how to do something, please message me. I will kind of show you how I do it, or I'll send you some videos from where I learned it from. If you are just joining, you're going to want to try to get your first 4 customers. So when you join, that's your first get-go, okay? You're going to want to get your first 4 customers so you can get that $100 shopping spree. I didn't get any of that cool stuff when I joined. For real, like you can buy apparel or you can buy products, which is really nice as a new distributor because if you don't really know how the products work, this is a great way to try them for yourself so that it makes it easier to promote. Because now when I do product posts, like I've used everything. I don't need to go into a page for help. I don't need to go and copy paste anything from somebody else. I literally can just, bloop, bloop, bloop. I know them word for word. If I have to, if I'm really busy, I have them saved in my notes, the good ones, where I get a lot of responses. I just save them in the notes and I use them for a rainy day. I've done that quite a few times. I think a lot of people told me that they were scared to if you're not so new and you started on posting. Repetition. People are feeling like they're being repetitive when I feel like that's kind of how we all start, but that's because we're the ones writing the post. Like we're writing it and it's just not everybody is seeing every single post unless they are stalking your page, but it doesn't matter. You're saying the same thing. It kind of means truth then after a while, right? Like if you're going to lie and you're just going to keep going about that lie, that's going to be kind of exhausting. So I've been in the business for about a year, and it was not always this straight up line, okay? My first and foremost rule to you is do not give yourself the option to quit. Don't give yourself a timeline. You might, if you're telling yourself, okay, if I don't do this, this, or this by 6 months, I'm out, you might as well just quit now. It's not going to be what you think. I did these little post-it notes 6 months ago. It took me 6 months from when my goal for Diamond was to reach it. And that's because things didn't go as planned. Stuff falls apart. I made a mistake. I don't know. It just happens, but it was meant to be because when I did go Diamond, I helped somebody earn a $5,000 bonus, and dude, that is life changing right there. Like that's not even a joke. The minute I tried like that, okay, so let's talk about the month I went down because it was literally the most important month of I think my whole thing. It like led up. I had so many mishaps and people quit and people didn't talk to me and I felt stupid at times. There were other times where I'm like, I don't even know if I'm doing this right. I fell forward, okay? I asked my upline helped me, and if that's what I am here for. So Diamond. There's a girl on my team who was super upset because she didn't go Emerald before conference, okay? We both wanted, she wanted to go Emerald and I wanted to go Diamond for conference, just to be like, hey, holla, I'm a Diamond here. Because it's cool. Like, it's a big thing. You're a top leader now. Like, I wanted it. I was so hungry. And we just missed it. Okay. We just missed it. Like, I remember just thinking, we're pretty close, like on the plane ride to conference. And I just kept telling myself that God, the universe, whatever, is doing this thing again where it's got another plan for me. Okay. I know I'm meant to do great things and I know I'm meant for more. This is just gotta keep going. I just have to keep going. I have to keep my head down, keep working. There's a reason for it all. 2 days later, they announce, if you go Emerald, you'll get $5,000 that month. And I immediately started like ugly crying because it was just like my sign from God. It was just everything. And I knew it. Like, I knew that moment was going to come. Okay. And I said it from that very get-go, like, I want to help her get this $5,000 bonus because at this point, like, we need something more. Okay. It's hard when people don't believe in us, right? Like, it's really hard, especially in the beginning. Like, we're always looking for that kind of extra shoulder. What I've learned in the past year is that I don't need anybody to believe in myself anymore. I already know I'm great. I know I'm meant to do big things. And you are no different than me. Okay? I'm just like some gal who's had all these crazy things happen in life and just not giving up on stuff that really means something to me. Like, this means something to me because, sorry, my little 10-minute thing came up. Because it means I get to stay home with my son. And then I wanted to make a goal for myself. I set that goal for, okay, let's help this girl get that $5,000 bonus. It will help me promote, sure, maybe. I wasn't even sure, okay? I wasn't, because I had other stuff that was a mess and I needed a shit ton of volume. And I just wasn't, like, my other side, there wasn't really much of a team. So, guess what? I enrolled like 6 Fit 30s in like 3 days. And this girl like had distributors come out of nowhere. Just be like, hey, I wanna work with you. I knew it. I'm telling you, I knew it. I said it every single day. She's going to get that $5,000 bonus. I am going to help her get a $5,000 bonus. And in the end, I ended up promoting 2 with her because I just worked my ass off. I get about like 6 hours of sleep. I work my business at night for as long as I want. During the day, it's sporadic. Like, this is really it's your schedule. Mine changes all the time. It depends on the baby. He's having like a rough, fussy time. In the beginning, when he was a newborn, it was so hard. It was so hard because he never slept. He never slept. He was always fussy. I was always awake. I was always anxious and overwhelmed and crying all the time because I didn't know what I was doing or if I was doing it right. Get plugged in. Get plugged in. Watch their trainings from your uplines and your leaders. Get to know them. Okay? There's going to be somebody that you relate to and you're going to want to know what they're doing. Okay? Like, that's the thing. We all compare ourselves too. Okay? Everybody's story is going to be different, first of all. And if you see somebody being successful at something you want to do, ask them or learn or like keep an eye on them. What are they doing? You want to know what I do? I've been following my uplines for a while and just kind of stalking their page and posting like them. There's this one girl I follow on Instagram. My stories are awesome because I follow her. And I just do what she does in my own way. But you don't have to overcomplicate it. If you're just starting, you just need to reach out to people. Reach out to people and keep talking to people. Your business isn't going to grow if you just stop talking and you think that it's like, We make money like 5 different ways, okay? So we create something called residual income, and how this works is you get your first 4 customers this month, okay? You're gonna get another 4 next month, and that's 8. You're gonna get another 4 the month after that, that's 12. So obviously your paycheck is gonna grow. Like our loyalty program, you have to sign up once a month for 3 months to get the discounted price. That's it. So your paycheck is gonna grow. And it takes time. Not everybody you meet is gonna respond with the first message, like I said. I was one of those people. And people, if they tell you that they don't have money, guess what? We've got an answer for that too. So send a screenshot to your upline. I'm gonna try to do like a Q&A. Is there anything else you guys maybe like want me to talk about or to cover? And maybe we'll do individual trainings like this week. I feel like I should talk about my Instagram stories because they're definitely starting to get better. And I've been researching some hacks. So somebody did ask me about keeping organized. All you gotta do is get a planner, okay? Definitely get a planner, and if you can, Google how to print your friends list on Facebook and get a binder. It makes life really, really easy for that side. You can't really do it with Instagram, but you can try. It's like you just have to copy and paste to a Word document your followers list. But for Facebook, it's you just, hey, I see, are you raising your hand? You are. That's cool.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi.
What you want?
Okay, so I'm super frustrated because school is just getting like really difficult because obviously like I'm a senior and like I'm not trying to make a sob story to myself because I already know that I work hard and that I'll get through it. But like my problem is that my one distributor that I thought was going to do really well just quit. So now I feel like I need to have like 10 distributors in order to even go Emerald. And it's just very frustrating because I was on such a good track, but my volume isn't there. Like my volume isn't there, and now my distributors aren't there. So now I'm just like, what do I do?
First of all, you're going to enroll new distributors, okay? People are going to quit. This is your first one, right?
My first distributor?
The first person quitting. What is this? I'm trying, girl. There.
Okay, is it working?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's the first one that quit.
The first one that quit. How can I tell you that, like, if this is what you want to do, like, you're going to enroll all the time. That's, at the end of the day, your job is to enroll distributors and to enroll customers. And the first one sucks because you take it personally, right? Like, you take it kind of hard, like you didn't do something or you said the wrong thing. I'm going to tell you, this business is not meant for everyone. And that is okay. It's just like not everyone is meant to be a doctor. Not everyone is meant to be a lawyer. And you know what? Maybe it's just not their time. Can we just talk about it? The fact that like I actually have a girl on the team who did It Works once and then quit and then rejoined and is killing it. So you never know. You just got to keep doing you and keep killing it out there. And she's just going to be sad she's watching from the sidelines. You know what I mean? Like, I've had that happen. I got one girl, she quit on me. She was my first D2 to quit. She is now an LC and she's thinking about joining back up. Like, come on. It just, there's nothing you could have done differently. I know the situation and I know, like, we did the best that we could, and you can give everybody all of those tools, okay? all those tools, but you can't make them use them. Like, at the end of the day, I could choose not to work my business. I could choose to hang out with Wade and not message people. I could choose to, you know, say that I don't have time because my baby is cranky or I'm sick or my dad's in the hospital, because I've been there doing that too while I've worked. So it's just, what do you want more? You know, like, I wanted extra money and I saw where this opportunity could lead. I want to be the next Ambassador Diamond, and I know my team is going to be so worthy, so worthy. I'm just ready to change so many lives. I'm not kidding you. You guys, once you start enrolling teammates and they tell you how, like, their first paycheck pretty much just blows them away, even if it's just $50, okay, or $30. Like, they are so grateful for it. You're like, this is why I do what I do. And it's only gonna grow. So then you're like, oh my God, I'm doing something. You're making an impact and creating that influence in the world, and it's a good, awesome thing. You are in the right spot. And I know you're working so hard, so I'm sending you so much love. This is gonna end soon. If you guys have any other, like, concerns or questions, just shoot me a message. Bye, guys.